Well, hey everybody, I'm John Rethlin, and this is my review of WCW Nitro 1999. Wait, no, it was WCW Thunder 1999. Actually, it was AEW Dynamite from Chicago in the same venue that just under 3 months ago they ran All Out. And this show was complete shit. Outside of a couple things, this show was the worst episode of Dynamite so far, the worst AEW show that they've had so far. And I'm not including AEW Dark with that because those are dark matches, and sometimes they have stories. But sometimes they're just, to have matches for the sake of matches and get people exposure. This show was not very good. I get that it was the day before Thanksgiving, and sure, you're supposed to have some fun. The problem is a lot of the comedy on this show did not necessarily work. Now I'm going to get into some positives on this, but this show was not very good, and there are a few reasons why. We had JR and Excalibur on commentary, and then a guy joined for the first match, Marco Martinez. He was from All Elite Fleet. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was like a State Farm promotion thing. He was nervous during his first time on commentary, so whatever. I'm going to let that slide. We start with the Jericho Celebration, where he wants thank yous from the crowd. Well, not necessarily the crowd, but from AEW Brass and Turner, TNT Brass. But we have Virgil Soul Train Jones introducing us, reading from a script. It is what it is. Jericho plugs his merch, says, hey, if you go to this website, you get 50 cents off, which it's kind of him just playing up to the crowd. Here's the thing. This actually wasn't that bad for a while. Sure, it was bad comedy, but at least everybody was having fun. The Inner Circle came out and were bringing out gifts. Sammy even brought out, or had a cardboard cutout of these presents in the ring. It was a cardboard cutout of him and Jericho hugging. Okay, cool. And then Proud and Powerful talk about it being cold season, and they bring out flip-flops and everything, and we get a Jericho from Hagar. Yes, we get a Jericho. That's what we're getting. At this point, this segment went on way too long. It was an actual goat, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm talking about this. The comedy started to fall flat after about 10 minutes. Had this just gone on 10 minutes, maybe 11 minutes, okay. This thing didn't even get over till nearly, 20 minutes into the show. Jericho's dad even came out, and he was wearing a New York Rangers jersey, and the Chicago fans were instantly booing because of the whole Rangers Blackhawks thing. If you're not a hockey fan, it's not going to make a lot of sense. And I'm only a casual hockey fan, but even I know those franchises hate each other. Let's go Blackhawk chants. The Rangers suck. And they all get custom hockey jerseys. Okay, cool. We then get Justin Roberts in to read a thank you from AEW Brass and Turner Brass. But then they didn't like how he read this message, and because he's from a nearby high school, he went to a high school nearby the venue in Chicago, apparently, or a suburb of Chicago. I'm not really sure of my Chicago geography or my Illinois geography. They beat the shit out of him. One good line out of this whole goddamn thing, Excalibur says, "Who beats up someone in their hometown?" That was funny. That was objectively funny. And then SCU, dressed as marching band people, come down and make the save, I guess. This segment, again, went on a little bit too long. And unfortunately, after once we get to the first match, it only gets worse. Now, Dasha Gonzalez does take over ring announcing duties because Justin Roberts was beat up. Okay, cool. You know what? It's nice to see Dasha get some exposure and get to show some personality. It's really, really nice. But the first match is the Best Friends versus the Lucha Brothers, and Orange Cassidy is dressed as a turkey, and right there, I hated it. I know there are fans of Orange Cassidy that watch this channel. That's fine. You guys are awesome. You guys have your opinions. You can like Orange Cassidy. That's fine. I'm not even saying I have anything against him as a person. I hate the gimmick. The gimmick is objectively stupid. It is moronic. I can't stand it. And yes, he was dressed as a turkey. Okay, whatever. It actually is fitting because the gimmick's a big goddamn turkey, just a whole bunch of giblets all over the goddamn place. But the Lucha Bros attack the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy during the Best Friends entrance. Okay, cool. But then the Best Friends gain the advantage, and then Orange Cassidy, dressed as a turkey, dives on them before the match even starts. This match was not very good. Trent beat Pentagon last night on AEW Dark. Okay, whatever. I mean, technically last week, but it was shown last night. And it just wasn't good. This match just was not that good. It wasn't even so much that it was bad, but just good Lord. The Best Friends win. Trent pins Phoenix. It just good fucking God, this just wasn't very good. Why are the best friends winning? The Lucha Bros should be somebody that you're pushing, and instead you got the best friends suddenly win. Hey, at least Trent got the pin, the talented one of the best friends. And I'm sure there are fans of Chuck Taylor. I got nothing against him as a person. I just don't really care for the gimmick. And I don't really care. I don't know. I just don't really care for the guy. But it is what it is. Just Orange Cassidy in this just fucking ruined it for me. I'm sorry. It did. I don't like the gimmick. I hate it. And then we get a ranking rundown of like the women and the tag teams and this kind of stuff. And JR saying the Riho was 98 pounds. We get it, JR. Let your fucking hat announce for you because it would do a better goddamn job than you're currently doing. No worry. I'm going to get to JR here in a second because we get B. Priestley and Emmy Sakura versus Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. Let me make mention really quickly that B. Priestley is probably the best I've seen her look in the few AEW matches she's had. I don't mind Emmy Sakura. I don't know why she's suddenly a heel, but it is what it is. Chris Statlander, impressed. Sign her. If she has not been signed yet, please sign her. Hikaru Shida has presence, is talented in the ring, is a strikingly beautiful woman, and actually can be somebody that you could build around. But during the break, Emmy actually did this weird dance thing with the ref and then ended up clotheslining Hikaru with, while holding the ref's arm. So that was kind of funny. But we get back from break and oh boy, we get JR saying something, and here's where the rant's going to come in. We get, even though these Asian women don't speak a lot of English, they're learning. I get it. Paraphrasing there, but JR says that. Let me say something really quickly, going back to the whole thing that Cornette said on NWA Power Episode 7 that caused that episode to be removed, edited down, even though it was a taped episode, and Cornette shouldn't have said it. He did say it, even though it was an outdated joke, and was offensive. Even though I laughed, it was offensive, and I get why it was removed, and I get why people did have an outcry. Even though I don't think he should have been removed from commentary, I get why he was. It was what it was. But so many people were going against Cornette for that and other stuff he said in the past. So I want the same goddamn energy for what JR said right here, because it's just as bad. Now, maybe JR's just out of touch. Maybe he just doesn't give a shit. They're paying him a fucking king's ransom worth of money to have him call this stuff. And some of it is actually good stuff, but you need to have JR only call select matches. Use him like Gordon Soley should have been used in like 89 and 90 and that kind of stuff, because Gordon Soley at that point was somebody that should have been using as an attraction. But same with JR. I'm sorry, but JR needs to be reprimanded for this kind of stuff, because it wasn't the only time he said anything stupid. I mean, fucking hell. I get that JR's been through a lot of health issues. I get it. I get that he lost his wife nearly 3 years ago, and that's got to be weighing on him, as it would weigh on anybody. That is a terrible thing for the man JR to suffer. But for him to blatantly be this stupid and this moronic with how he's saying that, it's like, JR, you might as well just said, I'm not going to use the actual phrasing, but he might as well just use a slur about Japanese people to just say, oh yeah, they're all, it's like they don't speak very good English or whatever because they're all Japanese and this kind of stuff. Pal, wait, that's Vince. But it was bad. It was a stupid line to say. So I want the same damn energy towards JR that people threw at Cornette. Because JR has really been phoning it in on commentary for quite a while. I get it. He maybe doesn't have the same energy that he does. Nobody could with all the health issues he's had. But that aside, this was stupid. This was fucking stupid, and he needs to be reprimanded and needs to be possibly taken off of broadcasting for at least, I'd say till at least, for the rest of the year, until like the first of the year. You want to bring him back then? Fine. But this is something that needs to be dealt with. Because that's just slapping the women in the face, which, by the way, apparently JR has not listened to Hikaru Shida's interviews. Sure, Riho's English is not all that good. She's probably learning, and it is hard for certain people to grasp new languages. Some learn it quickly, some don't. Hikaru Shida, if you follow her on social media, has been learning. Some of her backstage interviews, she has been learning English. Does she still need to... Does she still have a lot more to learn? Sure, but you can tell that she's grasping it and she's trying, and JR just basically... did that, slapped her in the face. So who the fuck are you, JR, to say that? Not that JR is going to watch this. And yeah, maybe I'm getting a little bit fired up on this, but they have a chance with some of these women. And JR, their lead announcer, somebody that is apparently supposed to, be somebody that's going to bring in bring in old school fans, lapsed fans, and, keep new fans. because they'd be like, wait, this guy's a legend? Well, I need to hear more of his commentary. Well, that kind of line isn't going to make anybody want to hear his commentary anymore. They're just going to want to get this stupid old Southern bastard out of the way. And that's really what should quite frankly happen. So hopefully he is reprimanded and maybe even suspended for a little bit. Because Cornette's going to be suspended or even have to resign from the NWA. To me, this line, it should have the same energy. So anyway, enough of that. Sorry about that little rant, but JR pissed me the hell off with that. And we then get Cheetah and Chris. They're getting some love from the crowd. That was some good stuff. We get a nice scissor kick by Chris for 2. We get mic stand usage behind the referee's back. And then we get a Maestro Cradle, where Emmy pins Chris Statlander and then holds her there for like 10 more seconds. Did Emmy not hear the bell? I mean, what the hell was going on? That was a little bit weird. It was just very, very odd. Especially for somebody that is somebody that's been in the wrestling business for as long as she has. So, but then we get a Moxley promo. He talks about napalm death and wanting somebody basically to pick a fight with him. Or he's going to pick a fight with somebody. Essentially. We then get Cody versus Matt Nix, a.k.a. Discount Jeff Cobb. And I like Jeff Cobb. But that's what he reminded me. I mean, nothing against the guy. The guy might actually be talented. He was used as just a job guy here. Figure 4 is a total squash. And then he calls out MJF. And then suddenly through this trap door, 2 guys attack. The Butcher and the Blade. One guy that was wearing like glasses or like a monocle. And then another guy that was identified later as Braxton Sutter from Impact. And then suddenly this woman shows up out like wearing this bunny mask and stuff like that. And you're like, what the hell's going on? It's Allie. It's Evil Allie. Okay. The crowd was confused. Nobody had a goddamn clue. Excalibur had to explain this stuff. And JR even seemed confused. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. At least Evil Allie is at least something different, but it's like they didn't explain any of that. Maybe the team's good. I don't know, but this is just a weird introduction where they're beating up Cody. Are they going to be part of MJF's stable along with Wardlow? Who knows? That's the first hour, and the first hour nearly ran me off. I nearly said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to DVR this and watch NXT and review that. But I figured, what the hell, you're getting solo me because the Derb is busy this week, so why the hell not? We get Omega versus Pac, Jazz Hands versus the Bastard. It was fine. It was a rematch from All Out. It was fine. It was a TV match, trimmed down from pay-per-view. It wasn't bad, but I didn't really care because it ended up being 50-50 booking. We had a nice dive by Omega, big old moonsault outside by Pac. Avalanche Falcon Arrow. He missed the Black Arrow. And then Omega got a crucifix roll-up 1, 2, 3. So 50-50 booking city, bitch. Okay, so Omega wins. Maybe he's getting back on the winning track. I don't know what the deal is. If you're going to push Pac, it kind of should go with that, but it is what it is. We get MJF's entrance. During MJF's entrance, where MJF is making his introduction, or, doing his normal thing, just entering where Wardlow is with him. And Dasha does her normal ring announcing, and JR just snidely says, yes, Dasha, thank you. JR, just admit that you hate women on the roster, for God's sakes. I mean, you're always jumping in and, quote tweeting for women that, that post pictures that are at least 40 years younger than you. I mean, hey, it's better than King, who hits on women that are underage. But still, JR, just because you're thirsting after so many goddamn women doesn't mean you need to get upset when any other woman on the AEW roster takes the shine away from you, which is easy to do, because JR has been phoning it in pretty much outside of any Cody segment. He's been phoning it in the whole goddamn time. And it's really, quite frankly, shameful. I get that he is a legendary announcer, but I'm kind of over JR, and I've been over JR for about the last 10 years. While I recognize that he has suffered tragedies in his life, it's time for him to go. Then we get pre-match promos from MJF and from Adam Hangman Page, or the Hangman, as Durr would be quick to point out. And it's the Dynamite Diamond Ring Finals, where it's MJF and Paige. It was sloppy, and I hate that, because it was obvious what was going to happen. MJF was going to get the win, and he did get the win. Wardlow kept attacking during the commercial break while the referee was turned away, and there was some good action. Don't get me wrong. Paige got in some moves, but MJF won with a Crossroads variation, and I think it's going to be called the Double Crossroads, which would be a good name for it. And then he pins Paige. It felt anticlimactic, though JR did have one line where he said, kiss my ass. I mean, JR, whatever you're into is your own business, so by God. So DDP comes out to present the ring. And MJF is healing it up, and DDP gets in his face, and then Wardlow gets there, and he gets in Wardlow's face. Are we going to get Wardlow versus DDP? I love DDP, but I don't need to see a 63-year-old DDP in the ring anymore. Stare down and pull apart and all that kind of stuff. And then we get Dustin Rhodes here, and he runs down Hager and Guevara, and the Inner Circle attacks. And then the Bucks come out and assist Dustin. And then they do a double Shattered Dreams in the corner, and JR says it's long, it's deep, it's gone. Again, JR, whatever the fuck you're into is your own business. A Dark Order meeting. We can be anyone. We are everything. They spent money on this. They are spending money to try and get this horrible stable over, or this tag team, or whatever. I'm sorry, but maybe if they had started with this, it would have had a chance. Now they're trying to hit the reset button, and I don't care how talented these guys actually are in the ring. I'm sure they're nice guys. It was shit. It was total shit. It was bad. It was 100% bad. Good God. So fucking stupid. This show was not very good, and unfortunately, the main event was only kind of okay. It was Chris Jericho versus Scorpio Sky, AEW World Title match. Aubrey is the ref. Great stuff. JR has a couple lines like, she doesn't let her gender be an issue. God bless Aubrey Edwards. He sounded like he was reading from a goddamn hostage note. JR, if you just don't give a shit, just quit. Just fucking quit. Good God. Go, have Conrad Thompson read you a whole bunch of goddamn notes. And yeah, I'm going to rip on Conrad Thompson a bit because I don't like that guy either. He's a freaking Meltzer shill, and he's not any good either. Even though he's the podcast king. He's a fucking nuisance is what he is. And JR at this point is a goddamn nuisance. And I know there are fans of JR that watch my channel. And that's fine if you guys think that I'm being too harsh. Just at this point, it's getting ridiculous. It was okay at times. It was also a bit sloppy, a bit off. The seconds were all banned from ringside though. But at one point Hager runs down. And then Daniels and Kazarian are brawling with him. Aubrey's distracted. And she's out there trying to get rid of them. Scorpio hits a TKO. Aubrey gets back in the ring quick. 1, 2, kick out. And then Jericho gets a quick near fall soon after. But nope, that's a kick out. And then wall to Jericho, second time, Lion Tamer. Jericho is getting to the point now where he is like Sting with, who was Nick Aldis, but, Magnus at the time. Or who is Nick Aldis, but was Magnus at the time at Bound for Glory 2013 when he couldn't even do the freaking Scorpion Deathlock. It's like that. Jericho is not going to survive 2020 with the way he's wrestling. He is wiped out. He is done. He can still have some entertaining moments. He can still pull out some short matches, but anything beyond 10 minutes, he is done. And I give him credit for wanting to do the best he can with these guys, but he's done. And Jericho attacks Scorpio afterwards. And we get Mox coming through the crowd, and he stares him down while staring out through the crowd. And then he starts coming down the steps, and we go to the end. So that's pretty much the end of that show. It just wasn't. There were a couple moments that were fine. I was glad to see the women get some time. But hey, at least we didn't have Kong and Brandy. We didn't have any of that. It's just, look, if I'm going to pick on WWE for the shit they do and the bad shows they put on, I got to do the same with AEW. You can shred me in the comments if you want, but I'm going to stand by every damn thing I say. And at least suspend JR or just pay out the rest of his contract and tell JR to go home. Because at this point, they could have Excalibur and Shivani call the show. Fuck, Excalibur could call the goddamn show by himself. Because JR at this point is just dragging everything down. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.